I've been picking Kunkka a lot in my pubs. Is like usually just second phase because he's solid pick. Doesn't really matter what you're going into. You can go blind on the Kunkka and still do decent enough.
I'm with you on that.
They're good. They're good. And speaking of frontliners, you're gonna need a bit more frontline on the side of Infamous. Earth Spirit is a decent start to this one, but Weaver and Witch Doctor are usually going to sit pretty far back in these fights. I imagine here they pick up whatever offline they're getting. I'm wrong. They end up getting the Ursa, something that we haven't seen yet this tournament.
It's because it's not a really good hero. Ursa is.
They bumped it. It is 7.20 D. Come on, man.
That was like it hasn't been. It has felt pretty weak, but they did just buff him last night on the Fury. Was it Fury Swipe damage actually went up? Is that correct?
Yep.
So Fury Swipe damage is a little bit better.
By 1.
Yeah, but I was like, it's not much. You can't ever change Fury Swipe damage by much, but it has felt really weak. There's a lot of heroes in the meta that can just kite him around, and he wasn't like winning lanes that easily. And that's one of the things that you need out of the safe lane, right? You can't really sack your lane and then not have the ability to recover. Whereas Ursa, builds a Battle Fury, which has been a pretty rough item for almost any hero this patch. Like no one really wants to build a Battle Fury unless you're like Phantom Assassin or gosh, I don't know, maybe a Troll. That's about it.
Alchemist.
Yeah, Alch. Yeah, there's not many. There's not many that can get away with building the Battle Fury. And Ursa, you just kind of go with this Diffusal build instead and try and play more aggressive. That's been the trend at least, right?
Yeah, Ricky, do you mind looking at the chat real quick for me?
Oh God, do I want to?
Yeah, you do.
Radiant's turn to ban.
I hate everyone.
I think it's very funny. They do end up banning out the Magnus. They don't want to deal with Yuma on this hero position 1 again, which is a little bit surprising because they've dealt with it pretty well.
The rest of my career neph, there's going to be a clockwork in the game. I'm going to have instant PTSD.
I mean, this is
flashbacks
the first time
and nightmares. This is not the first time this has happened. That's why it's the worst. That's why it's even worse.
Yeah.
I thought it was a one and done, never again.
5 seconds.
No, we know what's on your mind when you're casting down. Ooh, all right. Magnus picked up, banned out. They get rid of the Timber Zillion. Way too good of a performance last game. I don't think you want to give this up again. You still potentially need a position 1 or a position 5 on D2 also. It's going to be a 4 Mirana. What are you most concerned about here?
I think it's either going to be a safe lane or a 5, right? That's what they need here. They could 5 position the Tidehunter, which they haven't done all tournament. It's not likely. So my guess here is, I would ban out Yuma's comfort heroes, the Terrorblade and the Magnus. Those are like his 2 best heroes, his 2 most comfortable picks. So I like this a lot. They go ahead and grab the tiny last phase here for Infamous, which is going to be mid for Alone, and that's a great pick.
Yep, I'm surprised it made it through all the way to the end. Again, a lot of the games that we've been watching recently, Tiny has been first phase picked or banned, but we are on a new patch now, 7.30 D. Valve are, heartless, incredibly evil for doing this a week before TI. I think it's hilarious as a viewer, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, you've been boot camping for weeks now and doing tons of scrims, practicing heroes? Psych! Start over.
It would be a real shame if we were to ruin everything just before the tournament. I'm very excited for the International this year. Anything you want me to bring you, by the way? I know that you are, getting a tattoo?
Yeah,
that
getting
week?
a new tattoo. Actually, the weekend of Grand Finals, so I'm just going to have the tournament. I'm just going to be watching the replay of it, the VOD, while I'm sitting in the chair.
You want me to get you anything from the secret shop? Any player signatures?
Yeah, I'll DM you. I'll have you try and grab a few things.
Yeah, and then when we do the hot tub stream together, I can bring you all that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, if that happens, anyways.
TBD,
TBD. I am vax maxed and ready to go now.
I'd hope so. We've had plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
Last pick here. It's the Lifestealer.
Interesting. Not great against Ursa. I'm gonna be honest with you. As one of the few heroes that or one of the few carries that isn't really able to fight into. I mean, yes, Ursa is a pretty
Whoa,
high
they
HP
actually
pool
predicted
carry.
it right.
Hmm?
It's Lumiere's Tiny Alone's going mid on the Ursa. Okay, so this was actually a really big gamble because this was the only scenario in which the Lifestealer becomes good here is if they run it as a safe lane Tiny. I
I'm not
still
even sure
don't
that's
know,
true.
man. Still not
This
sure
is
how
going
I
to be
feel
a rough
about it.
mid matchup for Mr. Jeans.
Yeah,
Any
it's
melee
not
hero
good.
you play is very rough.
10 seconds.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, the thing you have here is like Alone's Ursa should do decently against Kunkka in the mid lane, but Yuma, I feel like, is just gonna have a really rough time against Sacred's Weaver. Like, this Weaver is basically gonna free farm on the Lifestealer.
Yeah, and we've seen what this guy accomplishes when he's having like even an okay game on the Weaver. If he's good free farming, like yes, he's not going to be building a carry yet, but he's definitely going to be carrying the game. And Michael, on the Earth Spirit being able to rotate to the other lanes, he's going to allow Weaver to exist behind himself, and you're always going to be concerned about him jumping on you if he's not showing on the map. Infamous, I like their lineup a lot. I'm going to be honest. Ursa is not something we see too often. It's a little bit unconventional in the current meta, but with the buff to it and playing against Mr. Jeans Kunkka in the mid lane, I'm going to have to say I prefer their draft. I'm abandoning my boys in North America. We're going Infamous this game.
Yeah, well, I look at Sacred's Weaver here. I think it's going to have a great time. Tiny in the safe lane. It's not going to farm exceptionally well into the Tidehunter Mirana, but they don't really have kill threat on the Tiny unless he makes a mistake. So I think Lumiere should rebound pretty easily. And yeah, I'm kind of with you on this one. I think Infamous, this like Ursa mid, it might pay off. See if they can make it happen.
Yeah. I'm excited. Ricky, it was a very fun game, number one. We got to see people, we got to see them pull heroes underneath the tower at the very beginning. We got to see them pull heroes under the fountain at the very end. Unfortunately, it's not going to be Yuma Magnus this time, but we're giving up for a hell of a show here for game number 2, and I am very excited for the grand finals coming up. We get to cast the first game on the TI patch, man.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we don't. SCA got to do that last night. John X Fire and MLP rip more things away from us.
It's fine. If it's anyone, I'm happy it was them.
Yeah. John is much better looking than me, after all. I know if you were able to replace him with or me with him, you would.
Don't sell yourself that short.
The quest for
I'm not saying I
seen the man,
wouldn't, though. I'm not saying I wouldn't, though.
His smile?
Yeah.
My God. Handsome man. A shame that he's addicted to Genshin Impact.
Ooh, that is a shame. All right.
I'm not sure if you follow his Twitter at all.
Not that closely, I suppose. 5-man smoke here on Infamous just to get out, play some wards into the lanes. Michael, a deep ward here behind the tier 1 tower. They placed this one last game, which ended up netting them the courier kill pretty early on. So we're going to walk as 5, though, into the dire triangle here. Not going to find anyone quite yet, but Sacred with Sakuchi just going to nope as he turns around. Interesting.
It is so easy, it's so easy to find courier kills with these deep wards that you can place in the bottom lane. There's so many different places that you can put it. It just becomes impossible to predict where it is up until you start to you kind of put a little bit of evidence together when you see when the enemy offlaner starts moving towards your courier, and very difficult to pinpoint it exactly. And by the time you do, you've normally grabbed like at least 2 couriers.
Looks like they're actually going to have 3 runes here on the side of Infamous. A good start for them. They also managed to block out the easy camp here from the mid lane, so that's going to make things a little bit worse for Mr. Jeans, and he does need that camp really badly on the Kunkka this game. Since he won't be able to contest the Ursa as much inside the lane, a lot of his net worth is going to come from these jungle camps.
Overblock the lane a little bit, goes underneath the tower.
I think he wanted this. I really don't think he wants to contest the Ursa lane, so my guess is he wants to just try and push this lane and double wave the Ursa, since the Ursa does not have good wave clear.
Doesn't even have Orb Venom at the start of this one. He's going for corrosion on the Ursa though, so his main goal isn't to farm up here. It's to harass the Kunkka, zone Mr. Jeans out of the lane, and find some kills in the early game.
Top lane, a lot of damage coming out onto the Infamous side. Lumiere, I mean, you're a 0 armor little pebble at this point in the game, and you've got a Blightstone on the Mirana, so you're taking more than pure damage at this point, basically, from those auto attacks.
Down to the bottom lane, we see trying to find the courier onto the gyrocopter, but they're not going to be able to grab it. Lane exactly where they want it to be? Question mark.
Yes, but top lane, first blood goes the way of the Witch Doctor. Just needed some Maledict and some right clicks. Didn't have the level 2 yet for those leaps.
Yep. Click down, tree toss ended up assisting with that one as well. But yeah, Excel. The Blightstone ended up doing a lot of work. They toss him back to the tower. The D2 Hustler's specialty.
They're like,
now,
you think you're the only ones who can do this?
You dare use my spells against me, Potter?
Yeah, that's really big plays in this top lane, shutting down Monster, but giving Lumiere a really good start. I mean, we thought that, you know, or at least I thought this lane would go a lot more difficult for the side of Infamous, but they've managed to find 2 really solid pickoffs and put themselves at a really great advantage.
Yep.
Eager to know Dire's whereabouts.
A good start over here in the safe lane. They find Maledict again on the Monster. Lumiere, is he going to toss the tree? No, he's not. I thought he'd just try to get as much harass off on a Monster here while the Maledict was ticking down. He's out of regen already on Monster. I think he's trying to buy himself an early ring of health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of that, he's going to get zoned out of the lane.
Yeah, he needs that ring of health to get to that Hood of Defiance. I think this game, it's incredibly important against the Witch Doctor, being able to reduce some of that Maledict's initial damage.
Yep. Well, the toss avalanche combos as well coming out from them. When the Maledict is on you, you just die to that. So, Hood of Defiance, absolutely crucial. Kunkka, by the way, as you predicted, already zoned out of the lane against Alone, who does have this Orb of Venom now. He's gone 1-1-2.
And a Wraith Band. Whoa. That is not an item I pretty much ever see at this point. It is mostly ignored by a lot of players.
Against the Kunkka, it's not bad. Because, again, it's all physical damage you're doing with the Tidebringer.
Yeah.
So you get the extra attack speed, meaning you're going to get more Fury Swipes off. You have the extra armor, so you're reducing Kunkka's ability to harass you out of the lane.
It gives you 2 armor, right? Like, it's actually not bad.
Bit more than that. Slight bit more. I don't want to be a nerd, though. Top lane. Monster. He's just about to drop.
And another Maledict comes out. He did get the Ring of Health, and he's under the tower now, but I think the damage, it's there. That Maledict gonna finish him off. Now killing spree for Excel's Witch Doctor. He's like, you guys took it last game. Let me show you how it's done, though.
And now chasing Divine Llama through the jungle here. He's got 3 leap charges, so he's going to be just fine.
He's going to go snipe the Witch Doctor courier. He's like, I saw this. I saw this deliver some stuff.
We're not able to get heroes. Bottom lane, you dummy.
Yeah,
might just die.
Here. Yeah, Sacred's going to finish the offs easily with that Sakuchi getting his first set of earn charges. And this is how it always begins for Sacred, right? He finds a kill, and then these earn charges end up kind of snowballing the lane a little bit.
You got, I think the team icon's wrong, by the way.
Oh, interesting. That shouldn't be the case.
Yes. Chat was complaining about. I would assume that our production guy Jerry would have fixed it by now, but
that was weird.
They've been spamming emotes in the chat. They get to me when the arrow's slightly off the mark, so Alone doesn't end up going down, and instead he's just angry. And Mr. Gene's gonna pay for this with his life.
Yep, no way to get away from this Ursa here. Michael making sure to get that last hit on over. And you get the tip as well. It's last game all over again, neph.
Yeah. This is a rough game. Oh god, you give that kill up to the Ursa early on, and he's just gonna snowball out of control. He gets himself his Orb of Corrosion that we're talking about. Oh god.
I mean, bottom lane is not going well for Yuma either. He is just getting constantly harassed out by this Weaver, and He's got raindrops earned, so he's never like gonna have to worry too much about this lane. Oh, they finally managed to take down Excel, and that is a decent amount of gold bounty going their way. Lumiere, though, might be too tanky. Just gonna waddle his way through the trees there, and a nice roll in from Michael. The boulder kick not available, though. Don't want to waste it on the Mirana.
Not being able to sit inside the lane anymore, Mr. Jeans, he's gonna farm up the jungle. Pulls himself up by his bootstraps. Just stacks his own camps here. He's invading right now, Michael, though. They scan it out, so they know somebody's walked up here. They find out it's Earth Spirit. Mr. Jeans is probably gonna be able to zone him out of the lane.
They're looking for Monster top, though. They're chasing for a while, and alone with this DD rune. Happy to try and find a target, and gonna initiate here onto Divine Llama. He has no mana to leap left, and that is just a quick kill for the Ursa. Now, turning his attention on over to Monster, as he is just behind the tier 1 tower here. 3v1. It's gonna buy him some time, but wait a minute. Yep. Okay. Yeah. He'll die. Just takes a moment. Okay. Monster. Ankles equal broken. And there's
what you're witnessing here is space being created.
I see. Mr. Jeans suddenly farms up this big camp and is back in the game.
Yeah. Where is he compared to the Ursa? I mean, he's only 400 gold down him. He actually did stall for a bunch of time on the Titan. They were up there with 4 heroes, and it took them like a good 30 seconds to find him in the trees. So, regardless of the fact that it is 1 and 7, there's less than a 1k net worth advantage right now for Infamous.
Alex, Yadomi's gonna get found there on the clockwork. On the clockwork? I'm just so used to it at this point. That's a gyrocopter.
Not all mech heroes are the same, Ricky.
That's true.
Come on, check yourself, dude. Bottom lane, Sacred is having a pretty good time with the Weaver. He's only a 500 gold off the Spirit Vessel. Yuma, I mean, he's kind of keeping up with Tiny for net worth, but I feel like he's giving up a little bit too much to Sacred here. Hopped into the creep.
He has no choice. He was going to take a big nuke from their Sakuchi there and needed to regen up, so... Currently infested, now running their way on over. Mr. Jeans, he's only a few seconds off the boat. Sacred gonna catch the missile to start this one up. There's gonna be the X, but a nice silence comes in, and alone closing the gap. Can't do anything when this Ursa's following you.
Slows down the game of the Kunkka yet again. Yadomi picks up the haste, and he'll be able to get away from Lumiere because of that. Monster, how's he doing? He just completes a soul ring. I mean, he usually sits by himself for the first like 10, 12 minutes of the game. Then he starts helping his team out. He's not as having the same start that he did last time, but I feel like a lot is going to be riding on him to have a decent game. Was they're struggling elsewhere. Mr. Jean certainly isn't going to be having a good game in this Ursa matchup. So, like you said, the gamble did kind of pay off. You got to play Lifestealer into a less miserable matchup, but the Ursa against any sort of strength melee hero in the mid lane is just completely one-sided. Yuma got on by Ursa, by the way.
And this is the thing where this is where I get really confused about the Ursa, or about this Lifestealer pick as well, because it's not like it does well against the Ursa. It's a great matchup for the Ursa. Lifestealer wants to like stand 1v1 and fight these heroes, and Ursa is like, yes, please. That is my that's what I do.
You want to do that? I think you mean I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like twinsies.
He's gonna be able to walk right on over, find Divine Llama there, and grab the missile. He is in really
and the
deep.
courier.
All right, Alone's gonna pay for this one.
No, I don't think he is. Oh, the arrow?
Yeah, they got him here. Boat just to secure the kill. He gets the enrage off last second. This is what we refer to as Space Maid in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Bringing 5 heroes here to their own tier 2, and meanwhile, Sacred farming top, pushing bottom here on Michael as well. I mean, they got a lot out of this.
I'm not sure it was worth it for Infamous, not unless they're able to find a tower or anything like that. Again, that is usually...
Nice arrow from Divine Llama there. Not going to kill her, Spear. That was a decent chunk of damage.
Yeah. You have to keep in mind, you just entered the mega kill streak on Alone. You made space there, but now Kunkka's at the top of the net worth off of just that kill. That's not supposed to happen, man. I feel like you're opening a window of opportunity for D2 hustlers here. So Infamous, they claw their way back into the game. still overall net worth advantage for the side of Infamous, but giving up your Ursa, I thought that they'd move the rest of his team in there, like he'd pop the Enrage before the arrow got off onto him, but they send him up perfectly. And now Kunkka, head of the pack.
Indeed, Sacred. Spirit Vessel
item.
out onto Divine Llama with the bugs. A decent chunk of damage, but he's gonna be able to make it out. He's got time lapse available, gonna be forced to use it so that this missile does not connect. And Sacred just gonna wiggle his way out of the danger zone there. Oh, unless he catches an arrow, and he's not. He's too dang fast. Come on. Mr. Jeans rotating in, grabs an X, stun up as well with the Spirit Vessel, and now he's in the bad spot. Monster walks in, he's got the Ravage though. The question is, can they get any kills out of it? Jeans falling incredibly low with the Magnetized Lumiere. Just gonna be able to help finish him off. He just burns down to Alone, and now he's continuing the chase here, looking for the Tidehunter. He's got nothing left, kick back the other way. Monster just trying to waste more time here. On the side of Infamous, maybe you get the deny, but no, Alone just walks right into the Roche, but he's like, thank you, sir. This is where I wanted to be.
There's no place I'd rather be, in fact. He's gonna... Actually, I don't think he's gonna be able to clear this up without somebody tanking up part of this one.
He's got Enrage, he'll be fine. Oh, you know? Nah, he's got Enrage, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Divine Llama, he's going for the leap in. He snipes the Aegis! Unreal, what a gamer. We saw this like 3 times yesterday, people going for the Aegis snipes. There's no way he gets out of this one as Excel ready and waiting. Drops an urn, even the Death Ward. Excel's like, no, 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 this one's mine, guys.
Yeah, Divine Llama ends up getting killed there, but he gets the Aegis. I mean, that is huge. Stopping Ursa to be able to get that one before he gets his Blink Dagger. He's not going to be able to put nearly as much pressure on by diving. And he's still susceptible to getting killed. We saw it earlier when he dove too far into the jungle. So taking that away from him is a very big deal. Sick play by Divine Llama, man. And it's not just the fact that you grab the Aegis. There's the morale boost factor of that one as well.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom lane, Sacred just being a nuisance, but he hops in the High Troll Priest.
I love this creep. If you're like Doom and you get this like level 1, oh man, it feels so good.
I was gonna say, can we zoom in on it, but it's dead.
We cannot. It's a corpse.
Yeah.
Do they have detection here for Sacred? He barely misses the X there on Mr. Jeans, and as a result, Sacred, he's out.
Yeah. He got enough sense to not move in the trees.
They got the missile this time.
Yeah. They just spent a lot of time chasing him.
No.
I think you're gonna want a time lapse.
He probably will. Yeah, I don't think he will. The arrow comes through. It ends up catching. All right, they can finish him off here. Torrent with the chain stuns. Well done. Finally punished here on Sacred, but it's a space made once again. Instead, you might lose Tidehunter in the mid lane here. He's got a Ravage, but just gets crushed by this Ursa, who's gone for an early Blink Dagger. Yuma TPing in. Also try and fight this, but again, like I said, I don't think you really want to fight an Ursa.
No. I mean, he doesn't feel incredibly strong without the Aegis, and with his first item being a Blink Dagger, it's all burst damage he's got. Arrow ends up connecting with him as well. They find the kill onto Earth Spirit. So they're controlling up Alone. They're doing a decent job at dealing with them. I think he lost a lot when he gave up that one death to the Kunkka.
Yeah, that is true. It slowed him down a little bit for sure. Net worth still 3K advantage here for the side of Infamous. Sacred's Weaver, I mean, he really has been finding a lot of farm lately.
No. Monster sitting in front of the tower. I mean, this is what we see from Tidehunters. Whenever the enemy team tries to group up, you can make up for the fact that you don't have a Blink Dagger, but just holding the objective, spamming out your Anger Smash. If they commit onto you, then it's just as good as a setup for a Ravage as a Blink Dagger is. So they're forced to go elsewhere now. Alone.
Actually smoking bottom for Sacred once again, but he is hiding in the trees. He's gonna pop the smoke. Do they have a dust? They don't. They only had sentries. Missile still will come out onto this Weaver. Sentry connects once again. Sacred's got a time lapse available. Drops the bugs. Missile connects. Arrow thrown in once again. There's going to be the boat. The X follow-up. Another death there for the Weaver, but another death for Monster. The same trade 2 times in a row now.
Yeah. At the very least, they managed to grab that and the mid tower. So
they will see this rotation on the backside. Yeah, Divine Llama, he saw them under the ward, but nice initiation there from Michael. Will be able to catch this Mirana, and gonna go the way of the Earth Spirit, at least denying it to the Ursa, but a really nice catch there.
Well, necessary as well. So ends up being a tower and 2 heroes for is the one that you grab on the Weaver.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
I'll be pleased about that one. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. Yuma still farming up his items. He's gotta have a halberd queued up, which isn't going to be that useful against the Ursa this game.
They're looking for Excel here on the Witch Doctor, and alone he's on the high ground, debating on going in. He looks for Yadomi. X comes through, call down, slowing him up quite a bit. Mr. Jeans taking a lot of damage from Lumiere there. There's going to be Infest, though, and that's might be enough to keep him alive. The Ravage comes through, the stuns onto the Ursa. They can bring him down. He does get the Enrage, and now turn their attention over to Michael. A huge 5-man magnetized Mr. Jeans. What a tree toss from Lumiere as well. He cleans up big, now just trying to finish off Monster, and it's going to be with the help of Sacred. A 4 for 3.
Losing the Ursa not great, but Lumiere, he is the position one you have to keep in mind. It is not the Ursa this game. He's playing the mid lane, and this game starts to get very scary around the 20-minute mark where he's got unlimited tree grab, and he starts farming and doing a ton of damage on Tiny, despite some of the nerfs that we saw in 7.3 OD. Lifestealer trying to stand his ground here, which is surprising, but I guess he's worried about playing too close to the enemy base. Grenade now found on Yuma here. If they can get one on Lumiere, even better.
Yeah, if you get the grenade on Tiny, it's just so good.
But that last team fight manages to tell things in favor of Infamous. 5k net worth advantage that they've got now. Brigand's Blade found. And with the recent buff that we just saw it get, even better. Not as good as a hero like Tiny, who doesn't have tons of attack speed to work with. I'm actually a little bit surprised they don't pass that one over to Ursa, but I guess he does have the Ring of Aquila. Extra mana regen is pretty important, spamming out Overpower and Earthshock.
They're pinging out bottom. Mr. Jeans here would love to go on to Sacred. There's going to be the X into the boat. The arrow comes through as well. Chain stuns are there, but actually don't have detection. He's out. They didn't have sentries or dust or anything. Instead, it's going to be the Earth Spirit that they turn their attention to. X back. Unable to escape here on Michael. I mean, they bring 5 to the bottom lane for this. You don't get the kill that you want, though.
No. Not even worth the rotation at that point, I feel. And I mean, they expended some of their cooldowns
from
as well.
Alone. Divine Llama able to make it down to the low ground, but Yuma, he's got a Maledict. He's got to bail out. Goes for that Infest, and Alone, he's taking a lot of damage. Can they turn this around? Avatos in from Lumiere, crushes a Monster. Doesn't have a Ravage. They take down Alone, but it's now a pretty big advantage for the side of Infamous. They buy back on the Mirana. Maybe what they need. Yadomi chased down underneath the tower. Sacred able to finish off the kill. He doesn't have that time lapse. He does, actually. Excel chased down by the Tidehunter. The Avalanche toss there finishes off that Lifestealer. They get a trade, but it's not a successful one. And now they're chasing after the Tidehunter. They got more than enough damage for this guy. He can't get rid of these bugs. And Lumiere just doing a ridiculous amount of damage on this Tiny. Avalanche toss once again. Monster forced to Ravage. Does manage to finish off the Weaver, but it's going to go the way of Lumiere once again as he grabs himself an ultra kill.
Ravage coming up just at the tail end of that team fight. If he'd happened to have it earlier, Infamous, I don't think they would have won that team fight, having dived that tower so hard, but I don't know. I think you're happy about getting the Weaver at the tail end of that team fight, but you've got a serious Tiny problem. This guy is 7-0 in 10 right now. They've got double your kills right now in Infamous, and I don't see you coming back into this one. Like, the Lifestealer is going to be okay into the Tiny pick this game, but the Ursa's a massive problem, and he's not even your main problem.
It's a 6. That was a 6 for 3 trade, and in that fight, like, Yuma gets caught by a Maledict, and he actually just can't fight until the Maledict is gone, right? And I think that's the biggest problem with his Lifestealer. Like, you can't preemptively rage when you see the Witch Doctor. You have to save the rage for when you see the Tiny. But if you catch a Maledict, you can't fight at all. So you're just in this like, borderline impossible scenario on this Lifestealer. And they're just targeting exceptionally well here on the side of Infamous. Yeah.
They're gonna have to change the targeting a little bit on D2 Hustlers, but oh god, they find Monster. I mean, he's not an easy target to bring down.
He's got Halberd too, so nicely done. Mid lane, they might make a play though, seeing these two heroes. No, they've managed to close the gap back now. Mr. Gene's coming in, just gonna go ahead and X himself, cleave down the wave. I mean, Yuma's going for an Aya Scotty, it seems. Things to slow down the Tiny's attack speed is always really good. So he's got like the Sanj and Yasha. He's going for a Sanj and Yasha eventually, most likely. But he's just about to get Avatossed here by Lumiere. And look at your health, man. He's got to just TP home.
Yep. Loses more than half his HP to the Toss Avalanche combination. He's got almost nothing left after toggling the armlet back off. And like you said, he is going for that Eye of Scott. He gets the ultimate orb completed first. I'm not crazy about this one. You'll be pretty tanky. But you're not negating a ton of healing, I feel. Which is a lot of the time, like, you either pick into the ranged cores you're able to slow down, or you negate healing with the Eye of Scotty. Outside of that, I don't see the huge reason for taking this Scotty. I mean, I think you would have been better off picking a different hero. I mean, Lifestealer is one of the lowest, I think he is the lowest strength growth rate strength hero in the game.
Similar to Ricky being like the lowest.
Yeah. Well, Ricky is just awful.
Dude, they buffed him in the recent patch, and they're like, yeah, this will make him playable, right? And everyone's like, no, this, what? What made you think that 10% more miss chance will make this hero playable?
No.
He's just going to be, they just want him to be 4. Like, they actually just want Meteor Hammer, like, Sleeping Dart Ricky to be the actual build for that hero, I think.
I used to be a big fan of Carrie and mid Ricky back in the day.
Come back to that one. We got a 9-hero smoke. Lumiere sitting inside the pit. Monster, he's gonna get found, but so is Excel. Jump on the backside. First hit bash from Alone. That's a big one. There's the Ravage coming through. Isn't enough though. Witch Doctor, he's still alive during all of this. It took you way too long to find that kill, and now Michael gonna catch a missile. So far, the Magnetize doing a ton of work as Alone. Will be able to finish that kill, and chasing after Yuma. He's got no escape. But they're going to turn their attention on over to the Roshan. They know what's up. It's another successful fight here for Infamous. A 4 for 2 and a Roshan to boot. It seems like they're running out of damage, Neff.
Yeah, they just completed Aghanim Scepter on the Kunkka as well. He knows that he's not going to be able to pump out damage in this. He's pure utility, but regardless of that, he only did 1400 damage in that team fight. And then did like a bout onto the one hero. His Torrent Storm didn't connect with almost anybody there. And the rest of his team not able to do enough damage either. I mean, there's a lot on this Lifestealer's back to carry this game, but maybe if you had something like a position 1 Gyrocopter, you'd be able to pump out enough damage, but not the Lifestealer.
Yeah. They've actually got Shard on Tiny. Oh, he's got Shard on Tiny and Ursa this game, so it's even more difficult to deal with these heroes. Tree Toss not having a charge anymore, and then Ursa, of course, getting that Enrage every time. Lumiere trying to stay on top of Divine Llama here, but looks like he's gonna make it out. Very close.
Who spoiled that shot?
Alone's gonna TP to the bottom lane as well. Had Mirana chasing him down, but Divine Llama wasn't able to catch him.
You really want to grab Michael here. Looks like he's gonna get him. X from downtown. Ooh, but he gets the blink. Really smart play, and then Yuma jumped on here by Alone. The silence is coming out, causing some damage, but Ursa, you actually don't have the Aegis. It's on the Tiny. In comes Sacred. He's got a time lapse ready and waiting, trying to get Alone out of here, but it's not going to be enough. Can they turn around? He gets right on top of Yuma. The Infest comes out. The damage will be able to take down the Ursa, but Yuma gonna bite the dust next with the rest of his team. The only survivor, your 5-position gyrocopter, and it doesn't look like it's for long, is Michael just playing soccer with his body.
Oh no, I think D2 Hustlers, they know what's coming. Being able to rip through your base so quickly right now with Tiny. He's got the Aghanim Shard, his Silver Edge, Echo Saber, Quicksilver Amulet. He does so much damage, it is ridiculous.
I mean, 1-position Tiny, this is something I've been curious. We haven't been seeing more, because I feel like it is incredibly strong. He's got a BKB to boot here, so good luck killing this Tiny.
Yeah. You had it hard enough before. I don't think you've got enough physical damage to go through this Tiny when he's got the BKB up either. Lifestealer, you know, he's an okay pick against the Tiny just due to his massive HP pool, but
Stop hitting my base, bro.
Lumière's just gonna go back in, man.
He doesn't care. He's got the BKB like we're talking about, plus the Aegis. Yeah, they're gonna be able to chain stun him down for the first time, but there it is. The time lapse from Sacred. We see this build constantly. This Blink Dagger to follow in alone. He just goes right into the base, catches a silence. The Ravage comes through. Can he get the enrage? It's not gonna happen. He goes down. The base is already fallen. But now in comes the Death Ward, the Maledict. It's already connected. Can Yuma find these kills? Infest into Monster. He's trying to run away. All right, build a graphics. Oh, you time last him a little bit too far. Nice kick out from Michael. Trumps that magnetized. Lumiere says, I'll go back in, baby. I don't care. He's got that Silver Edge Monster. Sorry, buddy. You're going to go down.
They all just melt the Lumiere. It feels like that there's nothing that they're able to do. Again, he wasn't forced to pop the BKB that team fight. He dropped pretty low, but you can't commit onto him too hard with his Aegis either. And Sacred sitting behind him. Time lapse available. This offlane Weaver is such a nuisance.
And would you say that there's more than just a tiny problem here for D2 Hustlers?
Yeah, I can tell you their problem is growing.
Yuma trying to stand his ground on Lumiere, but this is the thing, right? Tiny loves high HP strength heroes, but you know, Tiny has 24 bonus armor. Good luck. It doesn't work. The damage that you come through on this lifesteal, it's all physical, and Tiny, he just stands his ground. He's still got this Aegis another minute. Time lapse up again. In comes Monster, no Ravage available, and Lumiere's like, what's up, dude? You want to fight? There's giving the time lapse, trying to save alone goes, and he just pops the Moran on the backside, and Monster trying to run away. Lumiere finally pops the BKB. The Infest might finally keep him alive, but he's still got that Maledict on him. The bugs coming through. Will it be enough to finish on Monster? Down to 20 HP. He's going to survive. Michael, though, gotta be careful. Lone comes in, gets the bash once again. These time lapses, man, they are doing way too much work. They can't commit onto any of these heroes. The cooldown just so low, and now Yuma gonna die to the Maledict again. GG comes out. Infamous, a 2-0.
Yeah. Last hope in North America. They end up falling here in third place. Infamous, they're going to go to the grand finals, and they're going to get their rematch against No Ping. They had an incredible first series today. I mean, you're going to be feeling pretty good after a performance like that going into the grand finals. I feel like a lot of time you're worn out, especially if it's gone into 3 games, but, you know, morale does, and mindset does play a massive part of Dota. When you take a win like that, you can carry that on to these next games here. So we're going to get an amazing best-of-5 series next to close out the BTS Pro Series Season 8. Ricky, I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think this is just honestly a superior draft here by Infamous. I think D2 Hustlers maybe experimenting with this carry lifestealer. Like on paper, you're like, okay, I see Tiny, I see Ursa, like heroes that want to fight me in melee range, but you just don't nearly have the farm speed or the damage to lay into these 2 heroes. And then Sacred's Weaver just making it that much more difficult to stick onto any of these targets, as time lapse was a real thorn in their side.
Yeah. It was a decent prediction as well. Like they tried to like a lot of people mentioned in the chat, and like you mentioned just now, draft issue, you tried to predict what was going to happen. Mr. Jeans, his game got shut down in the mid lane on the Kunkka. He did come back and he was ahead of Ursa and farm, but like considering your 3 core heroes all melee against the Tiny and the Ursa here, and even into the Weaver, it's not easy to run these things. There's so much punishment for these melee core matchups, and they kind of fell apart on D2 Hustlers. But this is a fairly new team. They kind of threw themselves together. We had the opportunity to talk to Divide Llama about that just yesterday. I think they had a solid performance. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to see them continue to play together. Well, I'm certain we're not going to see them play together next DPC season, as they don't have 3 players from the same region. They're what? 2 Europeans, 1 North American, 2 South American on their team.
Yeah, they're from all over the place. Like we'll be seeing a D2 Hustlers in the DPC, but not this specific 5 players. So some changes to come. But honestly, congratulations to them to making it to 3rd place. But bigger congrats to Infamous, which is going to be, like you said, joining No Ping in the grand finals for a best-of-5, a rematch of our upper bracket finals. What do you think, man? Can they do it coming off the high here of this win, or is No Ping just too damn strong?
It's hard to say. Panda Boo is going to get his wish. I think that, again, you have a huge morale boost going into this last game. Or into this last series. I'm excited about it. I think if anyone's going to be able to give No Ping a run for their money, it is going to be Infamous. They were my favorites for making it through the South American closed qualifiers here. But for everyone who's curious right now, I'm not going to have a post-game interview for this one. I do think that Infamous needs a little bit of time to prepare for the next match.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll be able to grab somebody for the grand finals.
Absolutely. That being said, everyone, stay tuned for more here on the BTS Pro Series Season 8. Before we do a quick break, just want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, N1Bet, for helping make the tournament possible. For those of you who don't know, you can head on over to bts.gg/N1Bet, enter code BTSDota. You get yourself a little bit of extra money on your first bets there. And yeah, you can take advantage of it while you still can. There's a link below stream in the banner, as well as some stuff in chat. And again, if you need that link, it's bts.gg/N1Bet. But yeah, we're going to throw to a quick break. We'll be back with the grand finals, everyone. It's what we've all been waiting for. It's going to be super hype. Can't wait to see these two teams duke it out once again. So we'll see you in just a bit, everyone. Stay tuned for more here on the BTS Pro Series Season number 8.